All right, for our viewers who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us who you are?
Ron Killings, aka WWE Superstar R Truth.
Okay, so we're gonna take it all the way back. You know what I mean? For people who may not be familiar with you, uh, tell us a little bit about where you're from and what was your childhood growing up like.
From Charlotte, North Carolina. We moved from Georgia to South Carolina, then eventually ended up in Charlotte, where I pretty much saw my roots at, grew up at, went to grammar school, middle school, then high school, graduated from there. Um, Coming up, man, was like pretty much I did what everything else other little guys my age did, man. Football, track, good in school, man. Good upbringing, good parents. Got involved with the street life. Did some time. Um, Met one of my pretty much. It was like a diamond in the rough what I was doing in a halfway house. So that's how I pretty much evolved from coming from the stereotypical life of a black man coming from low income householding to being a celebrity on television.
Okay, now before you got into wrestling, like I said, you said you came up the typical way like everybody else. You stayed in a lot of trouble, but you was also talented in a lot of sports and stuff, correct?
Oh yeah, very talented man. I was like the fastest in Mecklenburg County man when I was in middle school in track. Had scholarships to Georgia Tech, Clemson, Syracuse. But at that time in my life, man, when I was in high school and I was me and some friends of mine. I was like an opening act for acts that came through Charlotte, like Kwame, third base, Chuck Rock, Tracy Spencer. I was opening up for those people. So man, like, and back then the Jack the Rapper was around. And I was touring around with that, going around with that, man, at every convention I could to like, you know what I'm saying, get my demo tape heard. That's why I ran into Tupac at, that's why I ran into Easy at. So man, just that life bit me, man. Just the music, the entertainment, that pretty much bit me. So sports became secondary to me.
And then we jumped off into entertainment.
Jumped off the entertainment, man, and I hit the streets, man. That was my way of paying for studio time. That was my way of paying for my dancers to have outfits. You know what I'm saying, for the limos for us. I was using the street to take care of all that.
Okay, so now what you said you met your diamond rough. What was the transition that made you realize, all right, I need to leave the streets alone and I'm gonna go into the route
Man,
of wrestling?
kept hitting that brick wall, man. Coming up out of high school, taking the time, man, to sit back, observe my life, and seeing the opportunities that I missed. At that time, I didn't have my first child. So it went from not giving a damn to giving a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a lot to lose, man, and just didn't want to be that disappointment. Not only just like to my environment, to my family, but to myself. So just tired of hitting that brick wall, man, and I was a willing vessel to like do something different than what I knew so well. You know, on the corner in the trap house doing whatever, man. You know what I'm saying, to make money. So it's like I want to get there. I want to do it, but I want to do what I did to get there. You know what I'm saying? So I was a willing vessel, man. I met a guy named Jack Crockett, and Jack Crockett is who introduced the South to professional wrestling. That's where you had NWA with Magnum TA, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair. He brought all of that to the South, and believe it or not, man, me and some deputies in there, they saw when I was locked up. My sister sent all the pictures I had with Tupac and Easy and Sinbad and everybody you would meet at on conventions and on tours and stuff. And all the deputies saw me as like, dude, you don't belong in here, man. Like you special, man. You don't belong in here, man. God got you going through something. And that was just the whole story I had my whole time, you know what I'm saying, in and out of jail. Like they feel like you don't belong here, dog. You don't belong here. So believe it or not, me and the deputies had a plan. They would find somebody in there that had enough money to invest in my rap career, and I would become a big rap star, and they can leave the jails and come work for me. That was our plan. So they was looking up everybody's man rap record when they came in and ran across Jack Crockett and pretty much told me who he was, what he did. Him and his family, they had Crockett Park, they had the Charlotte O's baseball team. They was like huge in Charlotte. So he talked to Crockett, and Crockett was like pretty much wanting to talk to me as well because I was pretty much entertaining the guys in there when there wasn't nothing to do. And Crockett gave me his phone number, and Actually, when I got out, he got out maybe 3 months before me. I got out, called him, came and picked me up from my mom's house. I didn't have nothing. Came and picked me up from my mom's house, took me out to Bennigan's to eat. And that's when he first introduced professional wrestling to me. And believe it or not, I turned Crockett down, man, because I don't know, I still had that bad side on my shoulder too. You know what I'm saying? I still wasn't that willing of a vessel to like change yet. And I actually turned him down because I said, I just want you to give me the money, man, just invest in my career so that I can become. He said, well, nobody's going to just give you money. He said, when you're ready, give me a call. I'm going to be there because God told me to give back to you. I never gave back before. But I turned him down. 2 years later, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is like a period of 2 years of going back and forth to jail, downtown, court cases, blah, blah, this and that. And this one I like pretty much submitted. And I told him whatever I needed to do, I wanted to do it. He said, this won't cost you nothing but time and dedication. And he took me to 3 WCW shows. And I was sitting there with him, and Ric Flair music hit. And I'm sitting there, man, and I'm seeing arena of like 15,000 people like unglued off their seat, man, just like standing up, screaming. And Crockett said, that could be you right there, man, walking down. That could be you rapping and dancing like he was doing in jail. And you get in the ring and you can dance and you can mix that with your fighting and you can do this and do that and rap. You become your own character. And he pretty much built that in my head, man. And but it was like when I was walked into the wrestling to get trained, I was looked upon as, that's Crockett's guy. That's Crockett's guy. Me still not knowing the stroke and the power this dude has, you know what I'm saying? That's Crockett's guy. That's Crockett's guy. Bro, it was like God had people just willing to give me any and every bit of knowledge they can give me. I'm talking about from the psychology to the story to like building a wrestling match to where I can take you on that roller coaster, get all the emotions out of you. I can entertain you. I was learning so much stuff there, man. And I was trained by Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull. And I was bit by the bug so much. Wasn't slanging dope no more. Wasn't doing no type of like negative transaction. Wasn't robbing. Wasn't doing nothing, dog. But in a whole different lane, in a whole different world, it was positive. I was being accepted. I was being appreciated. I was like, holy shit, this is like, it is something different. It is something else that we can do. It is something I can do this up. And I was loving it so much, bro, I was making like maybe $15 and a hot dog. You know what I'm saying? That was like, and I'm talking about like, I'm getting hit across the damn head. I'm like, you putting your body through this beating. And this is still training now. Well, I did that to where I pretty much became the hot thing on the independents. And I remember I was at NWA Wildside, and the guy that owned, his name was Rick Michaels, but him and his dad did the TV tapings there. I said, man, you could be on WWF at the time. And I'm like, oh, really? I said, I'm just having fun, man, doing this. Not making no money, dog. You know what I'm saying? But God was providing ways for me to, like, you know what I'm saying, pursue this thing. Long story short, Rick Michaels' dad said, I'm going to make you a tape. I just want you to send it in. Make me a tape, dog. I sent it in. I got a call from WWE like 2 weeks later. The week after that, Vince flew me up there and I was signed to WWF there.
Okay, now that's a very interesting road. And it's like, you know, when I was growing up, Junkyard Dog was the only black wrestler that I can even think of.
Boom.
So when you entered this realm, did you think, hey, I could be that next guy and influence more?
It's funny, man. When I entered that realm, man, I had minute knowledge of the political side of wrestling. The Junkyard Dog, the Ernie Ladd, the Ron Simmons, the very few of us in this sport, in this business. I had to like grow into learning and seeing and feeling and absorbing that and becoming a part of it. And there was very few black people in professional wrestling that we could look up to that like was big champions. Like sold out star names, like, and the ones you think, like you just said, Junkyard Dog, man, like Ernie Ladd, Coco Beware, Ron Simmons, who I still, man, talk to now. Those guys, man. I was just in a realm of doing something other than selling dope, man, and being out of jail, and just I was mesmerized by. Now I can use my own creativity in this thing. Oh, okay, I can see there's very few blacks in here, so therefore I'm going to have to like No, I don't have to do nothing but do what I'm doing. God already gave it to me. I was the first NWA Black American champion. And when they gave me that title, that was what, maybe 99, 2000? This is when NWA TNA first started. Jarrett came to me and explained to me about the wrestling business and told me a black person haven't held that title in 53 years. They never, and that title's been around for 53 years. Blacks wasn't meant to hold that title. And this guy's sitting here telling me this. And for a black to hold this title, they have to go before the NWA board and have a big, that this was a big deal. Where they went before the board, because at this time I hadn't got released from WWF back then, and I got released, and I was out, and I was pretty much, that nigga done came out, dog. So I was pretty much, man, like, saying that I was pushing the envelope. I was telling everybody pretty much how the business was. How, like, if you black, you got to look real close because you won't see too many people that's going to be there as a champion to tell you or to give you the inspiration of, I can be just like him. I can be just like him, because there's very few of us in the business. So they saw whim of this reckless, black, talented guy that was like boom, ready to go. And they say they wanted to make me the first black American to ever hold that title. And they did it. And that's where the Truth Killings came from.
Okay, and that's interesting because you go by R-Truth now.
Yes.
But along your path, you changed your name quite a bit. Is that marketing purposes or what was the meaning?
That's all marketing. It's all marketing, and it's all like pretty much if you sign with a company like WWE owns R-Truth. They own K-Quick. You can't nobody own your birth name.
Okay. All right. Now, you said you was the first person.
First NWA champion, first black champion.
And since then, you've held quite a few titles.
Yes.
And to my understanding, you're the only black man that have won the most titles at that.
I wouldn't say that as one of the most, man. You got so many black talented guys, man. Kofi Kingston, first black WWE champion. Booker T, man, he's held a lot of titles. I think I've been fortunate and blessed. I've held a lot of titles.
21, I believe.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Somewhere around that, man.
Bro, did you ever think that you would have that type of prestige in business?
Man, it's weird the way, man, God has molded me, man. Never even thought about it. I go on feel. I go on energy. I move on. I think God has a lot of things in store and plan for me. I just wait and receive it.
Okay. And you were also behind creating quite a few tag teams.
Yes. Kofi and myself, me and The Miz. Oh, man, who else was I tag with? Me and John Morrison. Me and Carmella. Me and Eve Torres. Had my share of tag teams.
Right. So you basically you got into this and you found your own niche and you then pioneered a way.
I've been loving it, man. WWE now, man, like Vince has given me so much. Like I've learned so much by being in that business. Like we used to have this thing called promo class where we would learn and we'd be taught how to like talk, pretty much. How to talk, how to do media, how to like. There's so much, man. When you say wrestling, there's so much involved with wrestling as a whole. It's his own world. It's his own lane, and I've learned so much from wrestling and from WWE, man. That's taught me how to deal with the world. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain way you talk and walk, regardless of what type of life you're in or what section of the world you're in, whether it's blue collar media, whether it's on the streets, whether it's wrestling plays a role, man, in our life that like I've learned from that I can take it outside that realm and live with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now you have those people that's naysayers that say this is not real wrestling, this is just entertainment. What would you say to those type of people?
Try it for a day. Try it for a day. And man, you still have those people, man, and I don't care how many times they print up and put, it's entertainment. But it's not entertainment. If I hit you with that chair across your back, I'm going to hit you with it. And if it's TV, I'm gonna hit you with it. None of the falls are put like this. We're not made to just like get thrown our back and our head, our shoulders and snap for a living. The human body is not made to do that. I don't think when I first started training wrestling, I'm talking when I first started, man, like fresh out of the halfway house, day one, man, for a week, I would just walk and my nose would just start bleeding. I mean, I'm at home, like it's such a it's like being a crash dummy, man, for a living. Like it's such a toll on the body. I would invite anyone that called it fake to just do it for a day. Do one match. That's all I would actually. That's all I would say. Do. Only thing fake about wrestling is yes, it's entertainment. Yes, it's pre-decided on who's going to win, who's going to lose. It's storyline. It's scripted. Yes, but you have to get out there and do all of that. You have to be on point with the commercial breaks that's coming in. Even though we're going to commercial break, we still got a live audience that we still have to wrestle for. We have to hit those times at every time. There's so much that goes into that. And if we got a 3-seg match, we got to have a beginning. We got to have a break spot for the commercial that's still running, still going live, and we got to have the finish.
Okay. That's interesting. So y'all endurance is probably more intense than
Oh
basketball, football, and any other sport.
Goodness. How long do you think seriously, how long does a fight last? If 2 minutes? And I'm talking about a good fight. And you blowed up breathing. Bro, we have like 25, 30, 45. We have matches. You have to like, we go.
Okay. So what if you for somebody who may be trying to get into this, what would be the one thing you would tell them before entering them?
Make sure your heart's in it. You can do it. If you got the heart to do it, you can do it. You can do what I did and surpass me. Anybody, you can do it. I don't want to say anybody because it takes a certain special individual to be in this walk of life. Because it's I mean, you're gonna have any type of with celebrities, man. Everybody got a little something with them, but with wrestlers, man, in this world, I think you got to have that that's something about you that drives you to this, to where you're gonna be dedicated to it.
Okay. What was that point in your life where you realized I know this is me, I got this?
Oh man, I think I may have told Vince McMahon this like maybe a couple years ago, man. And I've been doing this for about 19 years, man, like 20 years. So it's like I'm naturally good. I was naturally talented at it. It was given to me by God. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like riding a bike to me. But to know yourself and to know your walk, to know your role, that's a whole different feel. And like I told you, I move when I go on feel, so I can manipulate the fabric any type of way I want to, man. I think I told Vince this maybe a couple years ago when I was like, Vince, how about now I'm just now knowing how to manipulate and use our truth. He said, I know you do. He said, I'm glad you finally realized that. And it's just, I don't think you ever stop learning. Regardless of what professional or what kind of walk of life you do, you never stop learning. That's if you're a perfectionist like me and you always looking to perfect your craft.
Okay. Now, being a wrestler, there's a lot of other stars and celebrities that, they do those little celebrity matches and things like that. If there was somebody that you would do one with, who would it be?
Star match? Oh man, it would definitely be Rock, one-on-one, man. Or Wesley Snipes. I interviewed Wesley Snipes and Eddie Murphy and Michael Keaton K for Dolomite. I interviewed them for the movie, man, and we got on the fact that I asked the whole cast, which one of you guys would be a wrestler? Which one of you guys is more likely to be a wrestler? And everybody said Wesley Snipes. So probably Wesley, man. Probably Wes. Interesting and entertaining, man,
The blade factor.
Oh my God, bro. He's so funny, man. He's so funny, man.
Okay. Out of all your matches, what match would you say was the most fun for you?
Oh man, I've had a lot of fun matches, man. The most fun match. This is gonna sound crazy, man. My funnest fun. It's fun is the word. My funnest, it's the most funnest match would be live events, man. Wrestling a guy named Primo, and I had a character. I had when I was the bad archer, when I was a bad guy, I had an imaginary friend named Little Jimmy, and dog, this was serious. I had grown people that pay bills, man. Like grown people that got kids, grown people that drive cars, dog. Like they was wanting to take a picture with Little Jimmy. I'm talking about diehard wrestling fan, dog. Serious, dog. I'm talking about an empty chair, dog, right here. And I'd be like, yeah, Little Jimmy right here. And like, hey, can I take a picture with him, man? I'm like, yeah, dog, you take a picture. And they would come over and just hug Little Jimmy, dog. And that would make their day. Grown ass people, man. You see what I'm saying? So like, bro, anytime I did things with Primo would actually do this skit. And he got 10,000 people in here. Primo would like, ding, 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 the match starts. Primo would circle around me and say, hold up for a minute. And he would point, and I would look and say, no. And he would walk over, come here. He would pick Little Jimmy up, sit him on his knee, and just look around. And brother Place would like, oh. I'm telling you, I will pull some matches up and show you. People like, oh. And he would be like, okay. He would take Little Jimmy, sit him down. And he would be like, Little Jimmy. And everybody would be like, oh, I start clapping with him. And I don't know what, he would come and kick the air. And the whole place would, oh! Like, man, he just kicked that child, man. Like, the whole place would go crazy. I would get mad and like, yeah! And here I come run and grab him. And bro, you talking about the funnest. Like, it was so exciting, man. So much energy just in that match. Anytime I had a match with Primo, with Little Jimmy, man, it was like the most fun I would ever have in the ring.
That's interesting.
You get a chance, look up R-Truth and Little Jimmy.
I'm about to check that out.
Check that out.
Because I just actually watched a match the other day, WWE versus Raw.
Right. That's one about when they were doing the invading thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Survivor Series?
Yeah. The Survivor Series, yes, exactly. And wrestling has taken a lot of different lanes. So what's the difference between the WWE and Raw? Because it seems like it's still the McMahon family behind it.
There's no difference in WWE and Raw. WWE is the umbrella. WWE is you have Monday Night Raw and you have SmackDown. Raw is a show that's on WWE. That's under WWE. SmackDown is under WWE. These are just two brands that we have. You feel me now?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have your Raw wrestlers and you have your WWE wrestlers.
Nope. You have your you have your WWE wrestlers.
So everybody's still under that one umbrella.
Still WWE wrestlers. You have myself and half the talent that's on Monday Night Raw. We only come on Monday nights. You have WWE wrestlers that are on SmackDown, on Fox. They only come on Friday nights. You have WWE wrestlers that's NXT. They come on Wednesday night. So we're on 3 nights a week. WWE's on 3 nights a week. But if you're a fan, you're going to watch all 3 nights. If you're a dedicated fan, you're going to watch R-Truth because you know he's going to be on Raw on Mondays. Then you're going to watch Bray Wyatt because he's going to be on Fox on Fridays. You're going to watch Rhea Ripley because she's going to be on NXT on Wednesday. Now, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And once a month we have pay-per-view. I just got back from UK. And a couple weeks before that, I was in Saudi Arabia. So we worldwide.
Okay. Now, you're not just a wrestler. You've been in some movies.
Yes, sir.
Television.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the shows?
I've been in Head of State with Chris Rock, The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, and I just did Blood Brother with Trey Songz.
Okay. So, acting, is that something that you're about to start doing more?
Oh, most definitely. Definitely. Acting, more music. I'm about to just flood the industry, man. I feel like wrestling has pretty much gave me that platform, and it has people aware and people know of Ron Killings, aka R-Truth, but now I want them to feel me.
Okay. So there's a lot of wrestlers, but there's only certain ones that people know their names off the bat. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you hear that name like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Right.
You being a black man.
Yes, my name's like that.
Yeah. So for a youngster looking up, how can they be the next you?
Believe in themselves. Believe in themselves and do it. Have that desire, that little itch, that little thing that inside you, man, that God already put there to tell you it's yours. But you just have to have consistency. You have to have that desire to want to go for it. I don't think young kids get encouraged enough at a young age to do things in a repetition fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, my dad instilled a lot of good things in me, good morals, good values, good everything. But like they never thought outside the box. They had a son that thinks outside the box. I at a young age, man, I wanted to have more than just the house with the picket fence. I wanted to have more than just. I always wanted to be more. I always wanted to be to help that person. So to help that person, I need to do this. I've always been that type of person. So I think we need to like encourage kids to believe in themselves more and to go after whatever itch or niche they have that they're good at, they desire, they want to go after
Okay. Now, music,
it.
your original first love,
Yes, sir.
you're back to it.
hmm
You got a single out, correct?
Yes, sir. I got a couple of them out now. I have it's almost like the first test of the water, putting almost I would say a workout type song, gets your blood flowing. It's called That's Endurance, That's Out. I have a song that came off of one of my storylines in WWE, Dance Break, That's Out. I just put out a EDM with the same girl, Carmella, that the episode was on Total Divas. It's called Run It. That just came out. But now I'm about to hit him with a little urban twitch with it now. You know what I'm saying? So I got to set it off coming up.
Okay. All right. Well, for those who may not know how to find you, what is your social media information?
Man, you can go Twitter at Ron Killings, Instagram Ron Killings 1, Facebook Ron Killings,
All right, cool.
and I'm also on TikTok at Ron Killings.
Cool. We definitely appreciate you taking the time and to doing this interview with us.
Appreciate you, man.